Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti. Om. Shanti. 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 श्रीवक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव शुभकार्येषु सर्वदा 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 ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तम् नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः ओंकाराय नमो नमः ओंकाराय नमो नमः ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तम् नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः ओंकाराय ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तम् नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः। कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ओंकाराय नमो नमः। नमो नमः। नमो नमः। नमो नमः। कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन। मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि। मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि। मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि। कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन। मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि। मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि। मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि। शिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवा स्वरूपोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् स्वरूपोऽहम् नित्योऽहम् शुद्धोऽहम् बुद्धोऽहम् मुक्तोऽहम् नित्योऽहम् शुद्धोऽहम् बुद्धोऽहम् मुक्तोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवा स्वरूपोऽहम् अद्वैतमानन्द रूपम् अरूपम् अद्वैतमानन्द रूपम् अरूपम् ब्रह्मोऽहम् ब्रह्मोऽहम् ब्रह्मा स्वरूपोऽहम् ब्रह्मोऽहम् ब्रह्मोऽहम् ब्रह्मा स्वरूपोऽहम् चिदोऽहम् चिदोऽहम् सच्चिदानन्दोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवा स्वरूपोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवा स्वरूपोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवा स्वरूपोऽहम् नित्योऽहम् शुद्धोऽहम् बुद्धोऽहम् मुक्तोऽहम् नित्योऽहम् शुद्धोऽहम् बुद्धोऽहम् मुक्तोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् शिवा स्वरूपोऽहम् अद्वैतमानन्द रूपम् अरूपम् अद्वैतमानन्द रूपम् अरूपम् ब्रह्मोऽहम् ब्रह्मोऽहम् ब्रह्मा स्वरूपोऽहम् ब्रह्मोऽहम् ब्रह्मोऽहम् ब्रह्मा स्वरूपोऽहम् चिदोऽहम्
Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Ji ki Jai. We guilt tripped Neil enough to join the hangout today. He's the one responsible for this time slot, mostly. The ones in the US are very thankful to you. We've been discovering the beauty of just this non-conceptual life. So even if there are concepts, they're just played with. They're not taken so seriously and as if our life dependent on it or something. Yes, the simplicity of this, not living on the basis of some concepts, but living just as it is. It's as simple as that. And very often I've said that the power of belief can only be applied to concepts. You cannot believe imagery. A sense of joy can come, but a sense of grief can come on watching some appearance. But there is nothing to believe in that. So just contemplate into the nature of belief and see what it is that can be believed. Can we believe anything other than a concept? You'll find that it's only ideas, concepts, thoughts, same thing, which can get our belief. And by definition, a thought presumes the existence of a separate entity that I am. Even the most glorious ones, even if it is saying that you are one, you're presuming that this entity that you believe yourself to be is now become one or is the oneness. So, these conceptual words are just nothing compared to the truth of what is. But it's been like this here that in this realm that everyone has seemingly relied on these. And it takes some amount of de-addiction through satsang or the spiritual paths. We feel we have to let go of this identity, let go of these concepts. And even in satsang, there is the danger that we pick up new concepts. This happened here also. When I first became spiritual after being an atheist for most of my life, then I felt these are wonderful concepts. I can just use them. So then this entire conceptual framework was created here. But I realized when the appearances seemingly became strong, it was not helping me. Not really, anyway. And I'm so grateful to those strong experiences because it helped me open beyond those concepts to just see what's going on. If I know all of this spiritual stuff, but why is it still that my life is seemingly this up and down still continues? In that way, we can be grateful to our suffering that happens because it opens us up. It crushes these concepts that we feel are very valuable. And in the spiritual path also, the seeming path also, we can have this sense that I'm learning so much now. I'm almost there comes from this. The sense of almost being there comes from this. I'm learning so much now, just a little more, and I feel it will become on the edge of the cliff. Also, so these concepts and also some feelings. So if some beautiful feelings start coming to you when you're in such this is beautiful. Imagine a little more of this, and I will just be a madman, the madman that I heard about. And I'll be like Rumi, and I'll be writing beautiful poems in his glory. Like that it comes because the feelings can come so beautifully. So you attach the sense of progress to these feelings, and what can happen? Very quickly, they can also dissolve. Like all comings and goings, these are also comings and goings. And then with that comes some ideas about unworthiness, not getting there, not happening for me. So don't attach to the content of concepts or the states or feelings which are arising. Then what is here? Like I've been saying that there's this lump of content which is fluttering in front of us. But does any of it really touch what really is? And you will find it doesn't. So how can that which is untouched be found through the content of these concepts or what kind of states are arising or not arising? I'm not saying that we must be averse to this beautiful bliss is coming, joy is coming, love is common. You must not be averse. Accept them as beautiful gifts. But to be attached and to say that this is freedom, that would be a mistake. So it starts off with this idea, and many also teach this, so-called self-help programs. Just think happy thoughts. Starts off like that. Just think happy thoughts. Don't. You're making yourself unhappy by thinking unhappy thoughts. Then how are you creating your next thought? This is a fallacy. Yeah, I can create it. I'll tell you what I'm creating. And then you wait for the thought to come and say, this is going to be my next thought. It already came. So-called secret. So don't worry about the appearance and disappearance of thoughts. Of course, who would not want only happy thoughts? Nothing against happy thoughts. I'm just saying that if you're dependent, then when some spiteful attack or defense thoughts come, then again you will come to this conclusion that I haven't made it, I haven't got to the freedom that I want. So forget about it. Thoughts gone, states gone, body pain gone. Everything is allowed to be exactly as it is, and being is just being. In this state of simple allowing, not resisting anything, being remains unassociated. This is the fruit of satsang. To unburden that which can never be burdened seems to be the game that we are playing. But if that is the game, let's play. How do we pretend to be burdened? Only by picking up these concepts. So I've been feeling to say since yesterday about this non-conceptual life. And no concept, no matter how pure, holy, glorious it might be, it cannot truly define the truth of what you are. And we can look at some, the popular ones. Very popular in satsang is the concept that I haven't got it. So can we laugh at it now? Can we laugh at the idea I haven't got it? Because this I doesn't exist to get it. And the I that is all there is. There is nothing for it to get. cannot give anything to the I. It is not bound also. How will you give it freedom? And as I was saying yesterday, as we say that let's burn this concept, I haven't got it, into the fire of satsang, very quickly the mind offers the opposite, which is I have got it, which is as laughable as I haven't got it. It says, okay, if I haven't got it is not true, then I have got it must be true. Because the mind cannot fathom the neutrality which I speak of. So I have got it also must go into the same fire because it is also rubbish. There is nothing to get. This way we can notice the tendency of the mind to swing from opposites, but never remain in neutral. Actually, neutrality means no mind anyway. And in this way, all of us can look at our most sacred concepts, our holy concepts, and discover that that which is truly holy is not needing the support of this concept or the belief in this. You see, because some of you might say that what you say, burn all concepts, but here there is this concept that I have this great love for you, I have this great reverence for my master, but that which we have, this love and devotion and reverence, is not reliant on your belief in this. Your belief is not creating the devotion. Your belief is definitely not creating the love. So forget about it. Because if it is still, and we've seen this often in the Sangha also, if it is still the subject of some thought, then when the content of the thought changes, you feel the relationship with the master also changes. You see, because one day the thought will come, oh, I love him so much, I always want to be with him. The next day the thought can come, but I feel I've had enough. Maybe I need some space to myself. Something. So if our love is just dependent on the content of thought, then it's not what we are talking about. That's why I said that our most sacred, holiest concepts can also be thrown into the fire of satsang. With no fear about what remains if I throw everything away. Because the truth definitely does not need to rely on the crutches of these concepts. So like this, the self-inquiry or self-audit can happen and see that what beliefs am I still as consciousness itself believing, pretending to be real for me? What am I still giving meaning to?
Father, can I speak a little bit on this? I haven't got it.
I haven't got it, yes.
You expose this tendency of mind to not stay in neutrality and swing from the one side to the other side. But there is one more thing called reality, which is not neutrality. It, reality means to see what it is. So, in the context of I have got it or I haven't got it, I would say that when the consciousness is living thoughts, most of the thoughts, in that case, we could say that I haven't got it yet.
So, when you look right now, what belief do you find?
I cannot say it here.
Every right now is like this. So it is not even about the beliefs which are habitual, because in this moment they are dropped. So what we are finding is that which somehow still, when that same trick is played again and again, we pick them up. So if that is noticed, then what do you see? That this trick always gets me, but actually it has nothing to do with the reality of what I am. So as long as you don't involve the personal I in it, then you can laugh at even these as a game. How is God actually believing itself to be this, believing itself to be that? But if you put a personal I into it and say, Azhar hasn't got it, that is when the stickiness happens. So if you say Azhar has got it or Azhar hasn't got it, if you're speaking about consciousness being associated or unassociated, then immediately it seems a lot lighter. It doesn't have that stickiness of I personally getting it or not.
What I feel when even I am talking about this particular subject that I haven't got before, then some amount of your past should be allowed, otherwise I won't be able to talk. Isn't it? So at least one day.
Yes, but I who? You see? So usually we define like this, that there are three levels in which we can speak. From the point of view of awareness, really nothing to be said, and yet we keep pointing to it. But nothing really can be said about it. From the point of view of consciousness, all that we are speaking is the belief in concepts. Power of belief belongs only to consciousness. So the belief in some, this was our first conversation on Facebook, if you remember. Who believes? So consciousness has the power of belief, and it picks up ideas and it drops ideas. If there is something like a purpose to satsang, if you want to say there is some purpose to satsang, then the purpose is to rid God ridding itself of the beliefs that it picked up through this game. So this is all that is going on in satsang. But as a person, if you want to talk, then it becomes very difficult. You see? Because why talk about that which we cannot find at all?
No, it's not like that. It's like I'm talking from the experience. That what is experience? That in that now, in this now, if I look and check that is there any belief going to the thought, then I would say that no, right now in this moment no.
Yes.
But I move throughout the day in this way now. But I feel that when there is no sufficient vigilance and no sufficient alertness, then automatically the belief goes into the thoughts. So that's why I say that some
yes, but
more
then
inquiries needed.
in those cases, I've also said that find out those areas in which you find that belief seems to automatically go. Because this sense of automaticness also will reduce. You see, and how does it reduce? You can identify. Maybe there'll be one, two, or three areas in which your belief goes automatically. It could be work related, it could be relationship, it could be something. You see? And use that identity for your inquiry. And really inquire. till it becomes a joke. Then you will find that you will not so easily be able to say, but automatically it goes.
Yeah, it's happening. It's seeing that particular which is getting belief is also like dissolving.
What is the topic for you?
Okay, for example, this is just the topic that you started with, that live a life which is concept free in this moment without any past or future. So it's like to live in this way without knowing anything, to be clueless about what's going on. It's like frustrating for mind. So sometimes, so it's like these things are coming, and then, as you said, that inquiry happens, and then it resolves. So these kind of movements is happening. That's why, if I could talk from the experience, then I could say that still the movement of an unassociation is happening.
Frustrating for the mind means what? So you say to live without knowing anything, which means what? That we don't pick up any concept. So this conceptual knowledge is not given any importance. It's very frustrating for the mind. What that means? There must be again a concept which says it's frustrating for me.
It's like, it's like,
Can you be frustrated without believing a concept? Is frustration one of those raw urges like hunger or lust or something that can just come without any concept? It's thoughts, you see. So you say that I don't know anything and that is frustrating. That's not possible.
it's not like that. It's like,
No, we must, because there must be a subtle thought, including the thought, oh, I don't know anything now, this is strange, or this is something. Maybe not even that concept.
okay, to put it in the words of what is explained directly, it's like this state of not knowing anything or emptiness, it's very beautiful. But it's like when the mind again comes in and tries to find purpose, future, it's a purpose for life, purpose for existence.
So you bought the concept of purpose for existence.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's what I'm saying. But unless you buy this, unless you buy a concept, you cannot say, and you cannot get away by saying mind gets frustrated.
it's of course it's the thoughts and the belief also.
The belief goes. So it's like saying that my hands are open and yet it hurts when the fist is closed. We cannot be both together. Either we are not buying any concept, then no concept of frustration, suffering, all of this secondary, you know, thought-based uh, energies. We can really say it. You see? So, so if there's no resistance, then you cannot suffer. Actually, you cannot say I'm frustrated. So, just the mind will quickly try to sell you some stories. You have to be little careful to see, because we went from not believing anything to it gets frustrated. So, we have to catch you there. What does that leap? From not knowing anything to oh, I was frustrated? Because many can say I didn't know anything, and it's the most beautiful. You see, even that concept doesn't have to be bought. But if you have to buy something, I would offer this to you to buy. It can happen very naturally like that also. And in the play, you can look foolish, which is also fun. Like yesterday, at the end of Satsang, I didn't know what, like, where are we? What are we doing exactly? Are we starting, ending? What, have I said bye bye to everyone? Or, and it happened after a long time, but Anansi was there to tell me, okay, you said this, now you have to just thank the moderator and the broadcast. And sometimes these can also come, which is not your regular way, because it's not making a fool of itself constantly. It is some basic intelligence is flowing naturally on its own. And you can call it intuitive sense of operating or something like that. But even if this intuitive sense is not available, the mind is not available, It would be too much of a leap to say that it was frustrating. I'm not beating you up. I'm not beating you up on the words. I'm just saying that don't undersell yourself. Don't undermine yourself by believing these things about yourself.
Let's see if there are any flaws.
And Neil must be getting frustrated because the mics are not here. But thank you for helping Jesh with the mics. They're on their way, I believe. So we'll put them when they come. But I'll repeat your question.
Do you want the headphones?
No, that won't help because your question has to be heard.
Oh, okay. Just in response, one thing I saw was it's like we are at a now. There's always a trajectory you build up of the past and the future. Also, even if it is a peaceful life or a it's like it's a trajectory we build up. And I think no concept that you say is not to have that trajectory at all. Second part is in the now where the frustration happens. Are you when you're dealing with the stuff? Are you operating from that, or are you operating from yourself?
Yes, but that also needs the trajectory. No?
Yeah,
because anytime you check, actually, the past is gone.
Exactly. The trajectory is from that person in front, looking at it and operating from there. That is brought in, and you're working right now towards issues. With that in mind, then you operate in 15 seconds. You don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's the play. Just being back.
Actually, we can also play with the identities. You see, that how many thoughts will it take me to deeply believe the identity of something else? We often take that example of the old woman sitting at the banks of the Ganga, and very quickly that identity in that story seems more and more real. But anything, you can start just building the story, and you get attached to those characters very fast. Esther says, there is still some belief that something else will make me happy, and what just is not enough. Esther is here. It's Prabha, no? Prabha is also Esther. Okay. So she says there is still some belief that something else will make me happy. Yes. So if something like this, then make a list of those top 2, 3 things which you feel will make you happy, and then use them in your inquiry. To take an example, like the most popular example for many is that once I find the perfect partner, best relationship, then that will make me really happy. So find out what will happen, what changes for being, what will change for awareness. If the appearance of a perfect man is there around you all the time, what really changes for anything? Because this so-called perfect partner thing just never works. What happens is that, or I'm just taking this example, it might not be true for you, but what happens many times is that you meet someone, you feel like, wow, this one is so perfect, you see, and then you say, if I could only have this one, then I would be happy in that. And then what happens, and speaking from, I've been married for a long time, so I can speak from experience, is that you get that one, and very quickly it's like, yeah, but only if he would change like this or she would change little bit like that. You know? So that would seem perfect before we had. Then once we're in a relationship, then we want to change it around. And then we say, why can't he or she be more like me? Like, then constantly this sense is there, you see. So this sense of perfection completely dissolves. And it becomes more like, how do I change this one, if they would only change. Then you find that to change ideas and beliefs is not easy. It's a satsang experience every day. You see, we see all these sticky. We want to change another. You see, but we want complete freedom for ourselves. He should let me be exactly as I am. You see, but I wish he would change in these ways also. See, we don't usually see the dichotomy in that. Yeah? We want someone, we want the entire world and our family and everyone to just let us be. You see? But this itself is what we want to change about the world. You see what I'm saying? So why can't we then give the freedom to the world to just give us whatever it feels is right? Let God's will be done. So, first to see that whatever the appearance might be, nothing really happens to my being, and the awareness, which is aware even of this being, remains completely unconcerned with any of this play. But even speaking phenomenally, the ideas that we've had many times about what would make us happy, even those desires have come too many times. And yet we don't say that, oh, this was it, now I'm completely happy. So inquire into those things which you feel will give you happiness. So it could be relationship. Actually, I should say that those who come to satsang, it could be this idea that once I get to this freedom, that is the most popular one. Once I have this experience of freedom, then I will be happy. That has been the promise, isn't it? That it is that. But this freedom is available to you right now, in every right now. There is still some belief that something else will make me happy. That what just is not enough. There will never be more than what just is. You cannot handle any more than already what just is. It is so pristine. What is just now? What is? You are being. Being is here. You cannot stop this being. What can you give to this being? Just yesterday I was saying, in fact, that the best gift that being can give itself is being itself. There is nothing phenomenal that can satisfy being. It's not, you feel like it's not enough. But this sense of it not being enough is also a concept, isn't it? It's a concept. And we can observe this nature of the mind. Because it always says never enough. As children in India, you would have said, oh, when our pocket money used to be 50 rupees a month, then you would have said, oh, one day if I have 1,000 rupees, then I'll be so happy. And one day you got 1,000 rupees, and then you wanted 10,000. 10,000, so you wanted 100,000. It's never enough. So for this one, it is just never enough. And we talked about relationship also. We can talk about anything. It mostly comes with this sense that it is never enough. But actually, no phenomena affects being in any way. All just ideas of the mind. So, can you elaborate a little more on what you give an example of something else? Oh, my dear.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
an
an
example like
example like
often
often
is
is like self-image in the eyes of others. So in the moment, something feels, in the moment something feels like I want approval, or I don't want to be seen like this, or something like that. And it's like I trick myself into thinking I want this approval, or I want to be seen like this, or something like that. That would be an example, I think.
And yet what happens? If everyone around you says, oh, we just love you, you're too good, amazing, amazing. Then very quickly the mind will come and say, no, he's not telling the truth. There's something not sincere about this. So, this sense of getting approval for what we want approval, because we're not wanting approval for our being. Being is just being. Then what are we wanting approval for is either some mental concepts that we have. Oh, you're so smart, you know so many things, you're so intelligent, like this. Or for our physical attributes, oh, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful, these kind of things. But none of these will last. And none of these are something that we have created. Just part of the play, part of the appearance, the physical attributes which have to appear, they appear. And the mental concepts which have been picked up, are usually the source of only suffering for us. So this temporary things like physicality and our intellect attached to these at all. Because although the world might use the word self-image to describe these things, the self has no image. What painting can we draw of awareness? We cannot even create a drawing about it. You see, we cannot even imagine awareness. At best, the mind will paint some picture of some big space, or white space, or black space, something like that. But that which has no attributes, how do I complement that? Okay, I want to complement you. How do I complement your true self? I want to give you a true compliment. So tell me what I can say about the true self. Nothing. Cannot say anything at all. Cannot say anything at all. So that which we are calling self-image actually is the imagined image, or the physical attributes which we have about ourselves. And because our conditioning is like that, all over the world the conditioning is like this, about looking good and being smart. And we can, we're so used to, habituated. Also, what happens now is that I've seen that in social media, this even adds to it. Oh, I got so many likes for this post, and I got this one got shared so many times. Okay? You can sense that a sense of approval, or wanting acceptance, and the world to consider us so smart, and the world to consider us so good, is being added on because of all this likes and retweets and all these things in social media also. You see, but once you really look at what you are, you find that nobody can say anything about the truth. And why must I then be concerned with the lies? So like this, we keep inquiring into this. So it's very good that you are able to bring this up and look together with integrity at this. But very quickly you will find that all of this is talking about that which is temporary, not about the reality that is you.
Can I share another example?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, another example would be like sitting in silence. Sometimes it feels like uncomfortable or itching to do something else because it feels like just what is here is not enough. It's like this kind of restlessness comes up. And it doesn't even make any sense, but it's just there sometimes.
The sense of boredom, actually you will find that it dissolves more and more as you come to satsang. And some of you might say, what is he talking about? I get the most bored in satsang. But a little bit like this, I would rarely say something like this, but actually, if there's this sense of getting bored, especially when you're in satsang, then we must sit together and look at this, because what can happen is that boredom can seem like a very innocent and a very natural thing to happen, but it's actually fertile ground for a lot of trouble. The sense that I'm bored, then you'll find that many who have got addicted to various things, it all started with the simple sense of boredom. I was bored, so I wanted to have some fun. I wanted to experience something new because there was so much, especially with the young kids. And my children also constantly, Pa, I'm bored, I'm bored. It's like a something which constantly needs to excite them, constantly some entertainment has to be strongly provided. But just if you can rest in that and not allow that to move you, then you'll find that it's just a little bit of energetic movement, which seems a little grayish. Right? And you find that this sense of boredom also cannot last for too long. So like this, when you feel the sense of boredom, just use that also for your inquiry. What is it that is bored? What is it that wants to, want some excitement or wants to change? But you'll find that just naturally coming to satsang, this sense of being bored, because I must say like this, that it was here also many years ago that I would constantly be looking for something. I'm bored. I want to do this. I want to do that. Constantly be looking for something. But as I came to satsang and I stayed in satsang, then this sense, this is not like I'm bragging or something, but I just actually can't remember the last time when I was bored. And there's nothing to beat yourself up about in this. So I don't want it to become another benchmark for freedom. Say, see now Ananta told me, now finally he gave me a benchmark for freedom, which is he never gets bored or something like that. So don't make a benchmark like that. But you will naturally find that something is just so beautifully content with this being that we will not believe this thought that I want something. This is different from the natural movement of the appearances. So naturally, if something moves and you put on some funny TV show or something, all that is completely fine. But if you're believing this sense that I need it because I'm bored. I need to do something to entertain myself. You see, the sense of needing it, that is what I'm talking about. Not the actual activities that can happen, but the belief that what is not enough. See, because with this unassociated being, we find that so many beautiful energies and forces come in service to this. And they also go, they don't have to be constantly present, but they will appear in service to your own being. That you will not say that I want something else. What can happen is that if you're consuming a lot of mental stuff, we're consuming a lot of mind stories and things like that, that can be quickly very boring and frustrating. But usually it's just this trick of the mind to come and tell you, oh, but this, I've heard this before, and it's very boring. Especially not when I'm speaking, but I know that usually when some questioners come, then the mind is very quick to say, oh, but this, it's the same old stuff. It's so boring and things like that. It can be like that. So just we can watch this tendency of the mind, and if it comes like that, then I don't even mind you come up on the chat or you come up like this and say, no, but this is just too boring. We must get on with it. And what are you saying? Because you've been saying the same thing. Like that. So at least in that, I won't change what I'm saying necessarily, but at least you exposed it and you're able to share it with everyone. And there's great power in being able to expose like that in Satsang. But it is my blessing to you that as you remain in Satsang, then this sense of incompleteness, this sense of wanting something, trying to get something, this will dissipate more and more.
Thank you.
Is it again that nothing is happening on YouTube, or is it just my chat is frozen after? Last I got was Amaya.
Yes, there's more.
There is more?
A little bit more, yes.
Is it that when you chat the YouTube video, it's pausing the chat as well? I mean, when you pause the...
No,
or is it last I got? I know for many years I've used it like...
is paused, still coming, but sometimes it has that
Oh,
glitch.
there's a lot of chats. Oh, Preet is here. Preet says great, such a great timing for all of us in Canada. This is good. Pratna came also. Baswant is in the hangout now. This is good. Cornelia, yes. Can you connect the power?
Yes, thank you. Kind of like what Azhar was saying. Like what Azhar was saying, that just the experience here is that there's just, as I, and in Satsang and move through the day, it's just this unassociated being and just emptiness and space. But there is still a sufficient amount of vigilance still here, where if I sort of, there's things that can just easily sort of crop up really quickly, like weeds, and like all of a sudden I'm in the forest. But not so much, it's just, I guess I wanted to expose the ones that can lead. And I think it's just, it's a subtle sort of worry that can still come around future, around things like, for example, with the whole apartment stuff happening, I could see thoughts coming. I don't even know what worry means. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it's just attention, belief given to the thoughts about it more than, and it's not just like practical. It's practical, but it's has a heavier feel to it. You know what I mean? And like maybe a subtle feel of a doer or something. It's not like there's a lot of thinking or worry about like, oh no, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. Just and I can see that happening with other things like, for example, going to Rishikesh and just, it has almost an energy of a little more of like some worry around how am I going to manage work, and so I'm seeing it. It's just I don't know, just something feels a little like I just had to just, and it's clear when there's it's when there's vigilance, it's there. But I don't know.
So we can look at this together, but first I want to clarify on this idea of vigilance, which you are defining it the correct way, because many can have this idea that my being vigilant means that I must be in the state of constantly, looking for the gorilla. If there's guerrilla warfare, then I'm the cop, and I must constantly be looking for that. So this is a very scared state, actually, isn't it? If vigilance was like that, if freedom was like that, like Papaji said, vigilance till the dying breath. I want to demystify what he actually meant. Because many have picked it up to mean like this, that I'm in this constant state of worry and just looking for the mind, as it comes. It's not like that. It's just this complete freedom, allowing, but when the slightest tinge of some suffering or some, you can sense now, your sensitivity is high after coming to Satsang, that something is getting picked up. When that happens, then we don't Advaita it away and say, no, I'm the one. Then we create dichotomy for ourselves. When something is picked up, I'm worried about my house. So then we must look into that and say, but what can actually happen to me? And then we say, who is this me that something can actually happen to? And we come there. So this is the meaning of vigilance. When something starts to pinch a little bit, then we inquire into it. And then it disappears. So just like you said, like when something starts to grow, before it becomes like a big forest or something, we pick it up and we use it for our inquiry. This much vigilance is actually more than enough. And no concept can actually survive even this much vigilance. Because most things are now just coming and going. If something comes and presses out, what's going to happen to me? But if you were even to look at it phenomenally, what's going to happen to me? There's so many Sangha members here. My father's house is here.
It's more just identifying maybe with a feeling or energy of stress, or the thought. I don't know. Because I know nothing.
This sense that it's out of control. Something is, I'm not managing it properly, or it's just too much, or something like that. And with that, sometimes can be this mixed sense that I'm the victim in this situation, or something like that can come and say, why did that happen? I didn't even have a party. I'm just taking an example.
That's not even.
No, I'm just taking an example to explain the point. So just to share with everyone, it's like Anandi was not here for a few months, and her landlord said that you must vacate the house because while you were away there was some party or something like that. But there was none, because who was staying was Amba, so Amba is not a party girl at all. But anyway, so it can be like that. The mind wants to come and say, see, but I wasn't even here, and the world is blaming me, or something like this. It is very, very popular in the world like that. Because you've been in Satsang, these things are just, I'm so happy that you just let them come and go. Yeah, otherwise it'd be big fights within the Sangha. But I was not there, you stayed, and now I'm being asked to vacate. All this can happen. But all these different types of ploys and tricks. For some, it can be just this sense that I want to be in control. This is too much. It's just too much stress, and I'm not on top of it. I want to be
Yeah,
on
it's
top
more
of it
like
or something like
sort of
that. But even that, even for you, is a lot less than what it was even a few months ago. Because a few months ago, Anandi used to have her lists, and I don't know whether she still has many of those. But
I still just practical,
yeah,
like
just
very
practical stuff. So
it's not
it's not as obsessive.
no, it's not it's not as obsessive. It was like just yeah, you completely
Yeah, very practical is completely fine because I can also have a list of things that practically need to be done. But if you attach some sense of in control or out of control or manageable or not manageable, then we are still saying that there is a me here that is the doer. Isn't it? So with practical things, I don't want to Advaita them too much, but but if there is cause for some buttons being pressed or some suffering coming, then we must pull them into our environment. And it's good you expose it already, then it feels a lot lighter. Thinking like that. Especially it's not easy for you. I can sometimes make light of this, but you know, we moved houses from America and came to Bangalore. Never been to India before that, or not been to Bangalore at least. And it can seem very, very big. And I'm very happy with the way you managed even phenomenally. The sense of vigilance, just very simple like this, not in this constant worry or fear about the mind. The mind is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear in any of this actually. Even the deepest, strongest identities, the most egoistic state, nothing has happened to be. Just like they say in A Course in Miracles, they say like this, no? That nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Nothing real can be threatened. You see a direct experience now. This being that is here cannot be threatened. Awareness, of course, is beyond any phenomenon. So nothing that is real can be threatened, and nothing unreal exists. All of this is just an appearance. It cannot hurt me, touch me, attack me in any way. This is the underlying peace of freedom, not the phenomenal sense of tasting the peace. It's just this underlying non-resistive state of peace. I might have to keep refreshing my YouTube today.
there's just something from yeah, there's just a couple you can let you know if you
I might have to keep refreshing my YouTube today. Soumya is here. Soumya says, Namaste, wanting has definitely dropped a lot here, including going to Rishikesh. Is this healthy? If life has made the space in any way for you to be at my master's feet, then you must go. Don't force life. It will organically make the space necessary. So if it is making the space, then don't fall for any concept, including the dropping of wanting to go, to get in the way of your goal. But sometimes with the deep acceptance of just how life is flowing, then we're not beating ourselves up about things. So if you, this acceptance is there that life is just not making the space, and we're not just coming up with this idea, we're directly checking. Then we see that, yes, this is how it is. Then that is fine. The magnetism of concepts will dilute more and more as we are withdrawing our belief from them. Initially, it can seem like, oh, they're becoming louder. It's like if we've been buying from a salesman for our entire life, then one day we say, no, I don't want to buy. Then initially it can come strongly, but what do you mean? I'm dependent on you, and you need this stuff, you will not survive without it. All this will come. But as you say, no, and everything still seems to be going fine, then this salesman also will not shout as much as he used to. Sometimes it just becomes quiet for a long time, just conserving its energy one day to wait for the opportune time. So if some pain is there in the body, or some relationship breakup happened, or something, then it comes. If this is a chance for me to go and sell again, you see, and then it comes back to full selling mode. It can be like that. And that is the reason why we have satsang so often. I know that the salesman is good at his job. The only resistance to what is the voice of this lawyer in our heads. Just objecting, objecting, objecting. Whatever is appearing, ego is nothing but this resistance to what is. And the same resistance actually can pretend to play as attachment also. So something is appearing, yes, this must not go. That is a non-acceptance of what is, because everything that comes must go phenomenally. Only truth remains unmoving. All this phenomenal play is constantly changing. To say either I don't want what is, or to say that I always want it to be like this, is both going to be fail. Both are going to fail. Nothing can ever remain phenomenally like that. And our resistance to what is a losing proposition. So if you don't make a story about it, and just we are now, 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 just now. And it's so fresh and beautiful. What is the state of allowing? It's just like this, open, full freedom, even to our attention. Not grasping at anything, not wanting anything, not trying to become something. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Nothing to learn, nothing to understand. No deepening, no abiding. No idea of self or non-self. I feel to inquire into this question with you, all of you. Do you still believe that something in the world can hurt you? And if this belief is there, then we cannot truly be open. You see, we must inquire into this belief. You still believe that something in the world can hurt you? good contemplation. And then you don't have to expose the answer, just for yourself to shine your light on it. See, what is that which I still believe can hurt me in the world? And that will point you to the identity which still exists if there is anything being believed in, if there are any blind spots. And once you inquire into them, you will see that nothing in this phenomenal world can hurt me. I cannot be attacked. Then naturally this openness is there. Why are we resisting? Why are we closed? Because there's this fear that something can happen to me. I must be in charge, otherwise I'll lose control and something can happen to me. But now that you find I cannot be hurt no matter what, then the resistance to life just drops. So I give you this hypothesis, which is that you cannot be hurt by anything phenomenal. You have to check this for yourself and come back with the report. And say, I found this phenomena which can actually hurt awareness, or something like that. Yes, already it's funny when we say like that, I found a phenomena which can hurt awareness. It's already funny. Therefore, if there is still the sense that I can be hurt by something, then there must be a belief that I am something other than awareness also. So this we can inquire. This. And with this inquiry, it will lead to this sense of openness. Anything can come, anything can go. I am beyond time and space. How can that which is beyond time and space be hurt by anything in time and space?
I think we are going conceptually.
You're going concept.
Yeah.
How example?
So there is a fire, will you walk into the fire? There is a ocean, will you walk into the ocean? You cannot do that.
So the sense that I am the body, even if it is not there, although I've always said that it remains to this minimalistic point of body preservation, even then, if the sense was not there, would you be walking into the fire? Or because I'm not the car, then I should put my car into the fire? This is it seeming a little strong that nothing phenomenal can hurt me?
Very strong.
Because you feel that you can be hurt by some phenomena, like
Finally, you also accepted now that this appearance is also a dynamic aspect of me.
yes. But the appearance is a dynamic aspect of me. It is a play of my light. If the light is projecting an accident on the screen, doesn't mean the light is having an accident. Then you become neutral to whatever the light is projecting. If you're still concerned about what the projection is, that means that I'm not identifying with the light, I'm identifying myself with the appearance, calling it me or mine. Now, It is said in Hindi that this tan matra of body identification, which is like a grain, it's called like that to measure it. This grainy bit of identification with the body always remains as long as you are in this condition. That's why very often I take this example of sages not jumping off terraces and going into the water. But that doesn't mean that they really believe truly that something will happen to them if they do it. But this sense of this body is here and it's a beautiful gift and can be preserved, that sense can do that. What do you feel can hurt you? So rather than talking generally, let's make it specific.
I don't know what to suggest from.
You must look at it. So what is it? Okay, so
For example, if I will tell you that after you die you will go to hell, you won't bother at all.
yes, this much I can tell you. This one I'm not concerned about at all. Okay. If that is God's will, then it will be. And you know I don't ever say just like that. If it is God's will that the hellish experience has to be experienced, then so be it. There is no fear about that. You must look and see that this is what I feel is too much for me. Don't dilute it by making it general or ask me whether this will affect me or not. Find out what it is that is pushing your button. So in this way, the contemplation is working. Because it's very easy to say, oh, I see the phenomenal nature of this world is just an appearance. When we ask like this, what in the world can still hurt you? Then we really look at what it is.
It's a good contemplation. Just a fact.
Yeah.
Let's say there is a need for security.
There is a need for
security.
Yeah.
So we say, okay, I do have some sense that things have things. And then let's say, okay, I'm willing to resolve that. Doesn't matter if I
Say loudly.
It doesn't matter if I wake up on tomorrow.
Vagabond tomorrow, yeah.
And do I really feel will it be okay?
Yeah.
And let's say you get to that state. But it's probably still okay to go invest and do things.
Yes.
But just like you said, that vigilance aspect when I meditate, just make sure that it's neither the fear nor the greed.
Exactly. So I'll just repeat a little bit of what you said. That it's good to check on whether what is here has to live the life of a beggar or a vagabond tomorrow. Would that actually be fine? But that doesn't mean that because it will be fine, that doesn't mean we have to move it in that direction. If there's some sense that, okay, there's some money available here, let's invest it wisely, there's nothing wrong with any of that. As long as you're not attached to the outcome of that. As long as we don't feel something is happening to me if I lost all my money. Completely.
There's just a couple comments on YouTube.
Yes. Refresh. I don't know why this is happening since yesterday. Soumya says, in your presence, so many layers, cobwebs are being cleared. I pray that I stay open, willing, offering no resistance to your work with gratitude. Thank you, my dear. This openness is enough. I've always said that for me, if someone appears and they are open in satsang, then I know that as much as ever. Mukti is also here. Good, good, good. So US timing to be working.
I think this particular thing is someone like, for example, like Ananta. She said that nothing in the world would happen and people were near to them. Once jokingly means, you know this story, no? That they told her that can you put this phone on your feet, it cannot hurt you, and she just silently just put it there and kind of for the entire leg, but she was just untouched by it. So if people like Ananda, you want to say this, then it's like okay, but I feel like when an insect bite, oh my god.
It's see that is also not neutrality, and it's a beautiful story that you share. But if you came to me with this example, and you said, "See, you said nothing phenomenal can hurt you. Here, I have this piece of coal for you. Now put it on your leg." See, that'd be the most egoistic thing I could do, just to prove some point. It's not like that. It just is sense that the body can be hurt, and there's no intention here to hurt the body. But even if this body had to burn, let it burn. If that is the will of God. If this whole world was to burn, this universe was to burn, I know that this awareness that I am will remain in spite of it. Doesn't mean no grief will come. Doesn't also mean no fear will come. See? But it is seen that I am not that. I am not that which is grieving, and I am not that which is fearful. They are just appearances within me. But my primary nature is that of awareness itself. So it's not about this way or that way, just that neutrality about it. Let what comes come. That is the meaning of surrender. Let thy will be done. But if I still am concerned about what should happen here in this life, in this body, then we are saying, okay, mostly thy will, but a little bit my will also. So just that grainful amount of body identification remains. But that whole burden of wanting to take care of this and that in our life, wanting it to go a certain way, and just fear about what will happen if this happens, what will happen if this happens. All that fearful way of living is dissolving. And sometimes, these stories are not good for us. This one was a beautiful one because at least you said that the leg got
I have
burned.
heard a lot of them.
Yes, yes. But there'll be many stories also that we read about to say, okay, this one took this and nothing happened to the body also. Really? Because then it means that there's this distance, there's a difference between that and this. Because here, body, you prick it to the pin, blood will come. Really? But if you hear a story that someone took some burning coal and put it in their hand, it just became cold or something like that, then more sense of distance. Oh, I'm not there yet, definitely. So this, I know that devotees in their devotion can, right? And maybe some also had these siddhis and God's grace and these things. Their body had these supernatural abilities. I've now never seen one myself, but to give too much emphasis to these siddhis and abilities then creates a sense of distance between that. And yet, all of these, what were they saying? That there is actually no difference, no distance between you and me. Anand Mahima and all the great sages have never said that you are different from me. At best, they said that I have realized what you are, and you are that.
I think that's that more of a surety in the seeing and the bias in the action.
You have to elaborate a little bit.
I mean, if I'm more sure about who I am, it allows for a larger bias because I'm operating.
It just allows the more clarity there is, the less identification there is, then it's just this simple allowing of everything to happen.
Then dynamic range becomes much more.
Yeah. You're not setting ideas. And in spite of the ideas that we've always had, it doesn't go according to plan. Like I said, I was an atheist here. If someone says one day sharing Satsang, I would have laughed at that. Life had its own plan. Shakti says just exposing, still a sense that if something that seemed personal, like a brutal attack on the body, this would somehow harm me. Is different than the body got sick or was in an accident. I see. I see. Not fully believe, but definitely sticky. It's Radhika, by the way. This sense can be there that this preference is here that I don't want this to happen to the body. But as long as it's there that, okay, even if it were to happen, it will happen to the body and not to what I truly am. Nobody really wants to experience pain. It's very natural for some of this little bit, that grain full of identification to remain with the body. That is fine. Also, we can inquire into the sense of something happened because of an attack versus something happened because of natural causes. So there might be some conditioning about this attack idea here, which we can look at and see. What is this fear of being attacked? I feel there's just this checking again and again into where the body is being experienced, and to check and see that this space actually cannot be hurt. It is infinite and boundless. It's a very beautiful contemplation. And it's very simple actually. The mind tries to come in and confuse us by giving us various visuals, various ideas. But all that we are checking is that everything, including the body, is experienced within the space of my being, isn't it? The sound of the helicopter, the sensation in the body, was it not experienced within me? Even the visuals of the seeming outside world, this picture that we're seeing right now, is experienced where? Inside you, isn't it? And as we keep checking this, then we come to this restful space of being, which is naturally present. You see, one of my teachers once told me when someone asked him a question about body identification, he says that you identified with your ear only when somebody pulls it. Uh, so when some sensation comes like that, then only then we become identified with it. Yeah, actually, in our natural state, we are not as body identified as we believe ourselves to be. So a sensation can come, and the resistance from the mind can come saying that it should not be like this, or I want only this sensation. And that is what we mean by identification. Otherwise, naturally, we are not so identified with the body. And Radhika says, no current fear, just the past burning out. Yes. So basically, all that I've said today is whatever concepts we have, forget about it, and that which we cannot forget about, use them in our inquiry or expose them in satsang. That's a short gist of everything. What do we believe? What can what do we believe can still hurt us phenomenally? Sometimes there can be a sense that I better remember these concepts, satsang concepts at least, otherwise, how will I share, how will I tell my friends about them? But even these, we don't need to know, we don't need to remember, because they just appear from a direct seeing. How do I go and tell my family that where did I go, what did I hear today? You don't need to remember. And most of us feel at explaining it anyways. Freedom is just freedom from concepts. Can we put it like that? including the concept of freedom. Yeah.
Some days ago, I had a kind of contemplation, like what if next time, like I blink my eyes or close my eyes, like all this is gone, and I am kind of like, for example, like a body of like a lizard from Star Wars or something.
Okay.
Like everything is gone. I guess something would be freaked out by that. Like let's say even this mind and the memories of being better is happening. Like I'm sure there would be a lot of things rising up, but nothing that can like touch. It's understandable, wasn't that or wasn't this? It's just
He says that a few days ago there was a contemplation for him which said that if I were to just blink my eyes or close my eyes and open them, and this body and the identity and the memories of Petery, they would all be gone. And instead there would be that lizard from Star Wars. Which lizard?
and even if the memories from better is like would follow me there.
No.
Even like that, like sure, a lot of real knowledge first, but then also like.
I enjoy hearing about these contemplations. And you say that actually, to what is true, it makes no difference whether this or that. This is really good.
And also that it feels like it's totally,
Yeah?
and it also feels like it totally
Could happen.
yeah, like
Yes, completely possible in this consciousness for any play to happen. We truly cannot say anything definitive about this level. Could be that the lizard is having the Petery dream. Wakes up and says, happy I got my body back. Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shambho Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho 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 Shivaraja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shivaraja Raja Maheshwara Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Jaya Shankara Shiva Shambho Shankara Shiva Shambho. Thank you all so very much for joining in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai.
Sadhguru Shri Ananta ji ki
Jai.